Andy and Dave Daly right here on the Muskegon Channel. I'm Andy O'Reilly. Dave Cackley's over there. Everybody's, what is it, Wednesday?
It's Wednesday.
Yeah, day after.
The day after.
Yeah, the day after, man.
Oh, man. Now, you're going to steal the thunder of my top story, aren't you?
What's your top story?
My top story?
Yeah.
Top story. Tanya Cabala knocks off Andy O in the 91st District primary in Muskegon. Yep. I got to say, though, you've got to be the happiest man to ever lose an election.
I don't know. I mean, it's a mixed emotions thing.
From a relief standpoint, I think this whole thing, and I think you had a solid showing. I'm proud of you. I'm going to come right out and say this. I'm very proud of the way you handled yourself during this whole campaign. You were gonna run it your way. You weren't gonna go negative. Nope. You weren't gonna do things that are against your nature. And bottom line is you can't win elections that way, but you're like, I'm either going to win or lose based on
you can.
You can't. But you were going to win or lose based on your beliefs and how you wanted to run things. So it's one of those things where you're not saying what if, because you did it the way you wanted to do it. And I think that's something to be proud of. Now, I firmly believe you can't win elections that way just because you can't. It's just not done that way. But good for you.
I personally, I don't, and it really wasn't. I wouldn't call it a drubbing. I mean, she won fair and square.
Absolutely not.
And
hey, you know what a drubbing was?
And get it right, huh?
We saw some. Yeah, your loss was not a drubbing.
No.
Brian Calley got his ass handed to him by Schuette. And you combine and Tanadar and Abdul their votes together didn't equal Gretchen Whitmer.
Right.
I mean, so, and I guarantee you none of those, and Tanadar spent $11 million of his own money to get his ass kicked. So, yeah. I mean, you're sitting back having done what you did, the amount of money you spent on yours, and the fact that you sack up and do a podcast the morning after defeat. They're not doing it. They're sitting at home licking their wounds, crying in their beers.
Well,
you get up and you stand tall. That's like I said, you get up and go to work the next day. That's what you do.
Here's the thing. To lead, you got to do it by example.
Mm-hmm.
Right? So this is how I wanted to run things, and that's how it was going to be. After, go knock on doors. Okay, and you know what? Maybe if that's where she beat me, fine. I did about 500 of them. Okay, people hated it. They hated somebody on their door. So okay, it's like after a while, it's like let this go, and we'll continue to work the social media aspect of things. If that was where I lost it, okay. If it was an issues thing between me and Tanya, great. No matter what. I can tell you this, that even behind the scenes between Tanya and I, there was no animosity. There was never a time where it was like, I'm going to do this or I'm going to do that. It was cordial all the way through. And if you look around some of the other races in Muskegon, it broke the mold completely compared to what Muskegon politics is used to seeing. And that's something I'm really excited about. Now it's a matter of just moving on.
Right.
And do what I do. I said from the very beginning that win or lose, it wouldn't define who I am. And I also said from the beginning that win or lose, it wouldn't change what I do to make things better here. We've got a serious audience between the Muskegon Channel and Positively Muskegon and the social followings that we've got. I mean, dude, between Muskegon Channel and Positively Muskegon, we're almost at 1 million page views. That's a substantial amount of people that are paying attention to what we're putting out. So, if it was meant to be, it would have been. And if it wasn't meant to be, it wouldn't. And, so here we are day after, and just keep working.
And Greg Van Workum, he is the Republican. He's the Republican nominee. And I want to correct myself. I didn't mean to say you were happy about it, but here's the bottom line: is all your eggs weren't in this basket. Usually, when a candidate loses, it's devastating. It's like, this, what do I do now?
Mhm.
Where do I go? This was going to be this defines me. And I knew this wasn't something that was going to define you by any stretch of the imagination, because
Right.
it's not who you are. This is a business that is not you. It really isn't. You're not these people. And I'm not saying that necessarily to denigrate people going to politics, but in order to be successful at the political level, there's a certain amount of compromise. There's a certain amount of dirt. There's a certain amount of negativity that you've got to almost embrace and say, you know what, this is what I'm going to do to win. And I'm not saying people shouldn't do that. What I'm saying is that's not who you are. And I appreciated the fact that you stuck to who you were. And I think that's something to be admired and something to be looked up to. And not, because you were defeated, you didn't lose.
Right.
And there is a difference. You didn't lose, you were defeated. So, they just, more people voted for her. So there you go.
And you know this because you've known me long enough.
Yeah.
And I've said this about anything. If my team doesn't win, I want the team that does win to go on to the championship.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If my favorite team loses in baseball, I want the team that beats me in baseball to go on and win the World Series.
See, I'm the complete opposite. I never root for the guy who beats me. I never root for the guy that beats me. Yeah, I cannot. See, it's nothing against Tanya. I could never vote for her now because she beat you.
Well,
I'm
rooting for Tanya, and I hope she pulls it all the way through in November. And I thank everybody for the experience, and I look forward to keeping doing what I do.
I like, I find interesting because the governor's race is going to heat up, and now they say there's 3 people in this. They say there's Whitmer, they say there's Schuette, and they say whoever the hell the libertarian guy is.
Right.
And I'm somebody who voted libertarian in the last presidential election, knowing that the guy that I voted for had no chance of winning, none whatsoever. So can we stop pretending that the libertarian guy in this race has any prayer at all? Because it ain't happening. It's a toss-up. And this is going to be a hotly contested gubernatorial election in Michigan between Whitmer and Schuette. And I am good friends with somebody who knows both of them very, very well. And this is going to be a dogfight. This thing's going to get ugly, and it'll be fun. It'll be a good knockdown because and this is another thing, you and I just have different views of this whole process. You take it seriously. You look at it as people should be better than what they are. And I admire that. But there's a good part of me that's just going to love watching the gloves come off and just see him go at it and get down and dirty. The way politics, as I've known it forever, has been. So,
yeah, well, have fun with that.
We'll wait and see how
I'll keep watching Roku.
And there you go. Moving on.
Here's some other news.
Just because we've nearly run out of scary health news, too much water can kill you. That's right. Hypnotremia is caused by too much water consumption, which dilutes blood salt and leads it dilutes blood salt levels below normal range. The drop in blood salt can cause headaches, body cramps, vomiting, and even death. So if you're like me and you got a son who's about to start football practice in a couple of weeks, make sure they're hydrated, but not too much.
Right.
You don't want to get dehydrated.
No.
But you want to stay hydrated. But if you drink too much water, it could kill you.
Okay.
So bottom line, though, is almost nobody ever dies of this, except for people in really, really terrible radio contests.
I was going to say,
like
was there a radio contest?
It was like a decade ago. Yeah, a woman drank too much water. They had some contest about how much water, and she was drinking gallons and gallons, and then she dies a day later. So, yeah. So bottom line is just drink water. You'll be fine.
Yeah.
No, it's one of those scary health things CNN will throw out there just because there's literally nothing else to talk about. Have we talked about Trump enough? Oh, let's talk about how water can kill you. Okay. Finally, HGTV has purchased the Brady Bunch house.
I saw that.
This is huge. Yeah, the California home, which was used for exterior shots in the 1970s sitcom, was valued at. What do you think this was valued at? Or did you cheat and already know?
What neighborhood was it in?
I don't really. I don't know.
I'm going to put it at. Well, it's California, so you get it. I put it at $400,000.
I know they went to Fillmore High School. No, $1.8 million.
Whoa.
$1.8 million. Now, when it was built back in the 60s, it was valued at $61,000.
Yeah.
So that's some serious cabbage there. HGTV is shelling out for this, but hey, good for them. They
Didn't I hear
get a
one
staple
of
of Americana.
NSYNC guys or Backstreet Boys was bidding on it too?
I think so. I mean,
Yeah.
sort of, which I mean, I guess they were old enough to have enjoyed that in reruns like we were, but
yeah,
that's weird. Anyway, sports. Cubs win. They blank Kansas City 5-0. Lions getting ready for their preseason opener. I forget who they play in fake football, but preseason's on the way. Football season's starting up. Political season's heating up. But Andy O'Reilly back to doing what he does, and I'm happy about that. I'm disappointed in your defeat. Felt bad for you, but I'm glad that you did it the right way. So
life on life terms, man. That's what you got.
Congratulations.
How did Tigers do last night?
I don't know. I didn't think they played, or maybe they played, and I don't care. If they play tomorrow, I'll say whether or not they won or lost. But I mean, come on. Even Tiger
Have a
fans
great
care.
Wednesday. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
See ya.